Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our monthly general reading, angel reading for the month of May 2024. So, as we begin, I'd like to welcome everybody back and to thank you all for returning to this monthly series, and to also welcome anyone who is new to our Angelic Wisdom community. So, before we get started, I'd like to ask you to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Select the all notification bell, like, dislike, and leave your comments. Um, Also, if you would like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com /services. If you would like to support my channel with a donation, you can select my PayPal me link, which you can also find in the description area beneath this video. So, in the next week, probably by the 7th, I would have published the monthly angel scopes for each zodiac sign. I want to thank everybody for your patience. And last month, I was doing the roommate search, and unfortunately, doing it during the Mercury retrograde. With all of the astrological events that happened within that month, it was intense and a little insane, I must say. Um, Definitely the communication stuff was really like upside down, and even things with electronics, but they keep right in front of me. There was a lot of release, um, and they're just saying that there's going to be more release. And they also write it as if to as an imperative to keep releasing, especially in your professional lives. Don't know what it means, but that's what they've written in front of me. Um, and that might be really about, you know, letting go and of everything that isn't in alignment with your soul. And if you just are you feeling like you can't get rest in your soul, then there's things that you need to release, because it's time to let things rest, to let them go. And they wrote, so that you can be blessed. And you got to really understand that the things that you can feel don't rest, don't sit well with your soul in terms of beliefs, that you can no longer prolong, they say, the inevitable. And they write the word revelations that are occurring for you and to you. And this is all coming from, they write, your requests. These are requests. And I don't know, they wrote slippery, like as in a slippery slope, in terms, I guess, of resisting them, resisting what you've been asking for, or, it might feel like things are just sort of, you're losing some sense of control over your identity in particular. And this sort of loss of control over your identity makes it seem as though everything else is sort of on a potential landslide. And I guess there's a slippery slope to kind of um, manipulating, trying to use that little bit of control um, over your life, because it just seems logical. It seems illogical not to step in and do something. But the way you're stepping in is not legitimate, they're saying. You're stepping in with the force of fear. And that is what was creating what you were experiencing before. And what fear is going to do is only make it messier. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you to find a connection with true strength, with your true strengths. The power within you is a blessing within itself. And you don't have to fight any battles, but you do have to learn to stand in your truth. And this might be tougher, more challenging, but standing in your power is where the real logic, where it really makes sense, where things are really serving the sort of integrity that that makes you feel complete. You know, a lot of our actions leave us feeling sort of incomplete, especially when it's fear-based. And you got to listen to the energy, not to your head. You got to know when the energy is complete. And you got to know when the energy is asking you to trust it and to go on the journey and to just keep walking in the direction of the current. To just keep being one with it, resonating with it, in a way, interacting with it in a way that resonates with you, because it wants you to feel safe. It wants you to feel safe in being who you are and expressing that. And it wants you to know how great you are just all on your own, not as someone who's sort of like an island in a vast sea of oneness, but they just want you to know your own individual greatness, that the initiation of your greatness is from within. You already have it, and everyone else around you does as well. And when you can recognize this for yourself, and you'll see it in others, and then you won't push or overreach for something that doesn't resonate with your own greatness, that doesn't complete or reflect it in a complete and whole way. A lot of times we're working from the void, and there is no void within you. And so it's hard to find the true reflection of yourself. This makes life extremely challenging and miserable, But when you get to know your greatness, when you learn to stand in your power, the power of love and the integrity and the truth of that, and then resonating with the components that are in alignment with that, you build sort of an invincible status and identity that is unshakable to you. And you don't worry about outcomes that fear tries to project or um, write a script or plot for you that's different from the beneficence of your soul. And so this is why it's so important to release all of this, to just keep on releasing, to allow your identity to evolve with the light within you. Now, truly, you are the light within that light. You are always the light within that light. But our fears make us feel that we're standing outside or apart from that light, and that you have to gather the fuel throughout your day to keep that light burning, or to reignite that light when it's supposedly has flickered out. And that's why we cope in that mindset. The coping mechanisms that we use are usually manipulative. And that is why we will then do, sometimes when we're desperate, anything to keep that flame burning. And nothing that you do from that mindset will ever allow you to know what true happiness is. It's an illusion, the kind of happiness that you gain from that process. It's like getting high. And that's basically what fear tells us to do. It tells us to do things that are not in alignment with that love. So you're not standing in your power, so you go take it from somewhere else, and that's an illusion because you already have it. And you find these things that make you feel high, sometimes sex, sometimes, getting a promotion in something that you really don't believe in, but you're doing it just so that you fit in, and your life seems logical, normal with everything else that's going on around you. You might make some compromises that give you that little, okay, little moment of relief. I dodged that one, kind of thing. Never really looking at whatever we have to go through as a blessing, that is leading us somewhere that we need to see, and it's helping us to grow stronger, helping us to keep affirming. It gives us the opportunity to affirm how to stand in our power, our true power. Once you get used to this, then it becomes normal, becomes natural, becomes the way for you. But you got to let go of that fear-based instinct that drives us, because it just ricochets. It has consequences that you really can't ever really truly count on to be sustainable. You got to come off the high at some point, and then you plummet into the lows. When you no longer sort of have this bipolar experience in life, and you just have this, you take it in stride, you know, you're not, your core is not disrupted, then you'll know that you're on the journey of real happiness and real fulfillment. You'll understand power in an extraordinary way that's probably not totally describable. But you'll be at peace, not in the sense of nothing will ever go wrong, but you'll never be disturbed. You'll never feel totally unsafe. It's okay for us to have this vast emotional bank. It helps us to know who we are. It helps us to know that power within by having an experience that isn't that power. And that's, for me, what the future would be like, what peace is truly like, when you just know that at all times. And so you don't set out to manipulate it, but you set out to understand. You see it as an opportunity to understand yourself better and to heal some part of yourself that might not be in your awareness. And you bless that moment of awareness to help you to bring all of yourself back into full alignment with that power of extraordinary love, truth, and integrity. So let's take a look at the Archangel that we're working with for this month. And it's Lady Gaia. And it says, your challenges are lessons. We had this card in one of the weekly readings recently. Your challenges are lessons. You are loved and welcome on earth. It just sounds like I just said everything that was meant in that message on the card. And Lady Gaia is really coming through right now, because she's writing, there are more challenges. And what she wrote immediately, as many challenges that we're about to go through, their result, their purpose and their result is to bring more hope into the planet. And when there's more hope in the planet, the light of truth will burn more brightly throughout the universe, not just our planet. And it's at that time when and a massive awakening will occur. And the first step, as she's writing, is respect. Ooh, doesn't sound very, very big. Ooh, that's all? No, that's huge. And I know that you know it. Just like I know it in this moment. Because that's the beginning of a lot of healing. That's the beginning of a lot of releasing. And that's also, she's saying, the challenge in this is it's gonna be a lot of expressing, a lot of expression. And the key, she writes, is making people feel safe when they're doing that. That's respect, she says. So think about the idea of going to your therapist, is that no matter how you express yourself, your therapist or your guru or your healer makes you feel safe. Remember, under the foundation of love is peace, then under peace is a sense of safety. There is nothing, when we talk about giving love, you got to think about those things that support the foundation of love, of unconditional love. And being able to allow others or to help them, to support them in feeling safe as they respect themselves. Do you realize this is like the most powerful form of healing? Physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, emotional, whatever, the most powerful form of healing that you could ever hold space for. And right now, you don't need to argue with anyone. What you need to give them is a safe space. Because once they feel respected, they will feel loved. And then they will feel the power of the love within them. That void, that illusion of the void will dissipate. And all of that ego mania will cease. And the next level above safety, which will be the result of your actions, will be peace. And when there's peace, love reigns over the circumstances, the events, your life, and our planet, and the universe. So this month, offer respect instead of just arguing with people. And I'm not saying that you cannot have a discussion or a debate. Discussion just feels better. But in order for the discussion to be productive, you have to employ respect. That is, again, to say, a place where every voice feels safe. And then you will be given the reward of peace, and they will be given the healing reward of peace. Their hearts will heal and dissolve into peace, and peace will transmute it all into love. So let's see what your guardian angel has to add to this. And this is the Major Arcana card. And its purpose is to tell us what is the overall energy that we will be working with in this month. What's influencing our energies this month? What's the major theme or lesson? And this is also a card that exemplifies that power. The Emperor represents the world power. But to you as an individual, it also represents your soul's power. And one is an external display, and the other is an internal knowing. One, you have to constantly prove, and you act outside of what's respectful. You take actions most times that lack integrity and respect for your true power. And so how do we balance that in this month? Because we're often goaded into being that outward demonstration where I have to prove it, and then it always comes across as authoritative, domineering. Even when you're trying your best to do the right thing, you find yourself slipping. That's that slippery slope thing again. It's just things slip out that you want to take back. So they want you to focus on holding that power within, meaning acknowledge it before you give away your peace. Acknowledge it. Instead of being intimidating, offer a sense of safety. If you don't know what to say, then just listen with an open mind. When you open your mind, this does not challenge you. It gives you the broadest perspective of understanding and clarity so that you can help direct or guide or offer wisdom and guidance that will make things safe and good and respectful for everyone. This is another message of leadership, reminding you that every person you encounter, including yourself, is a divine leader with their own divine gifts and offerings. You are not alone, but you are a part of a team of oneness. Don't allow your ego to take anything personal and goad you into protecting your self-identity. Then stirring up something that will create imbalance, because without respect, everything is unstable. Whatever you're trying to do or accomplish, it's unstable. And why we cannot find rest or true happiness in the world is because we're trying to control something that we created that's unstable, and the instability is like a domino effect. It's just going to keep becoming more and more unstable. It's like the parable about building your house on the sand versus, the rock, so to speak. Something stable versus something unstable. If you fear is like the sand, the more you try to build something stable on top of it, it's going to keep the sand underneath is going to keep slipping away. And over time, no matter how long it takes, that foundation will create a dramatic sort of challenge for you. The instability, it has to, everything that's on top of it has to come crumbling down. But love, respect is like building your life on the foundation of a solid rock. Sustaining peace and safety and respect is our role, because it's going to just open you up when you are in the power of love and people feel safe around you. They are drawn to you, and whatever it is that you are offering, you don't have to, sorry about that. So I'm going to move on, and then if it comes back to me. But we're just talking about this foundation that's so important, and standing and really giving credit, finally, to this inner reality of love that, quite frankly, everything that you see around you is the energy, the reflection of that love. It is what made it all possible. What we do with it is our decision, but it's all been presented, all created out of love. And we have an opportunity to create a world now, a new foundation of peace based on this sense of safety. And what I was saying is that you will attract, when people, the energy of safety is probably the most pure, essential force of alignment and manifestation. Getting back to what I was saying. Because your gifts naturally shine bright within you. Your talents, your beauty, your inner beauty, all this shines brightly. The only thing that inhibits things not naturally coming to you without even having, it's almost like, and let me just say this first, is the clouds, the dark clouds that fear puts around you, and then projects the opposite of that safety. Otherwise, everything would come to you so easily that you wouldn't be able to keep up with it at first, because you would be in disbelief. But after a while of creating your own foundation of safety through respect and giving this to others in this sense of safety, you would not ask for more than what is needed. And not just for yourself, you would be asking, but you would be asking on behalf of so much, so many, and so many, so much. Well, let's put it this way: so many people and so many things that would need sort of replenishment, whether it's food for the planet or your community, whatever you needed, it would all be coming from your heart out of the compassion and respect that you have for life, all forms of it, and the care that is needed to provide for all of it, to be as vibrant and pure and full. Now we have the second message from your guardian angel, which is from the Minor Arcana, which is giving us a sense of what we need to be paying attention to in our day-to-day awareness. How is this energy? How are we being called rather, to act with this energy? And the Knight of Earth is really like the caretaker of the planet and its needs, and any project, every project, he's driven to build, to and you know um, sort of bring things that are needed for the benefit and well-being of everyone. And you say, but how could it disrespect? Well, some of you in your roles and your jobs might be called right now to act as the guardian of the planet and its resources. And you say, but I'm not an activist for this. But you can start in any job that you're working for. You can start really, like they just wrote the word greed. Wherever you can shift the consciousness away from this greed to empowerment. And making sure that resources, understanding that when we give from that light and our love, and when people feel safe, they are drawn to us. So if a company built a foundation of safety, they would have an abundance of clients, customers, and people, employees that are working in such an enthusiastic way, and it'd be so happy with the work that they're doing, because they're in alignment. It resonates, and the people are receiving it. It aligns, has integrity for them. That everybody is benefiting. Everybody feels full in their hearts. That most of the things that are offered to us now give us FOMO. They don't make us feel complete. They give us fear. They make us not feel good enough about ourselves. And the bottom line will change. That they tend to focus on, but they won't need to focus on it anymore, because it will just happen. Because we all have gifts that can fulfill the needs of everyone. We're not all meant to do everything. And I'm not saying that your energy will do that. What I'm telling you is that your energy will do everything that is right for you naturally. And that also means that this will happen through cooperation, collaboration, working together. We will understand that we are oneness, And together we are the fulfillment of all that we each need. So don't be afraid to get involved, in projects. Don't be afraid to get involved in your community. Taking care of yourself, making sure that you're safe, but that only leads us back to feeling sometimes like we can't do enough for ourselves. And every time I try it, it doesn't, I'm back at this again, because we need to branch out. We need to know that we're a community of oneness, and it's together in this physical plane. We are stewards of each other. We're stewards of our planet and each other. And just listen to your heart in the way that you're called to do that, to be the peacemaker, to create a space where people feel safe and respected, and where they can heal all of their suffering in that space. They can let go of the divisions that are ancient. But nothing is unresolvable. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful, beautiful month of May. And happy birthday to all of you who are born in this month, who are celebrating anniversaries of any nature, or having any type of celebrations. We send you angel blessings over all of this, and that you and yours are safe and at peace. God bless.